So some days the discussion on here can be a little lofty, some big ideas, that kind of stuff. Today is as grounded as it gets, but it's so important. I decided to use today's video for it anyway, and that is a plea from me to you that if you're not already doing it, you should use a calendar. Whether it's for school, whether it's for work, whether it's for game development, whether it's for your personal life, whatever it is. When I see someone who's not succeeding at the things they're trying to get themselves to do, and they're not using a calendar, it's like watching somebody who's losing a horse race who refuses to use a horse. The difference between a person's productivity when they have a calendar in their life versus when they don't is staggering. And I don't mean a page-a-day calendar. I mean a way to schedule your stuff in a way that I use Google Calendar. I've kind of given up the idea Google owns and knows everything about me anyway. So there's my Google Calendar. I like that it syncs across my smartphone and my desktop or laptop computer. But other people out there have got clients who use Apple calendars. Plenty of people still use paper calendars where they got the grids of every month and week calendars, whatever. And I know people have said like, oh, they made it through university without a calendar. They run their business this long without a calendar, made games this long without a calendar. Why should they start now? And the answer is because you could have done more if you would have used a calendar. No one's giving you bonus points for playing on hard mode by having to keep it all in your head. Either you're not using a calendar and other people who are using a calendar have an advantage over you, or you are using a calendar and you have an advantage over people who aren't. Calendars are so staggeringly better for getting things done for a couple of reasons. When you're not using a calendar, you're having to constantly remind yourself of when you're supposed to do that thing. All it's doing is tying up mental capabilities, attention, ability. You could be dedicating, focusing on the problem you're at. Because part of doing anything well as you possibly are capable of, is being able to focus uniquely on that, exclusively on that, for the whole world around you to cease to exist while you are solving the problem that now is the time to solve. And the way to do that is to make it so everything that's not supposed to be happening right now is in a calendar. When it's external, you can forget about it. And you can look at your calendar and be like, what did I say I was supposed to do that day? Okay, 3 p.m., here's what I'm doing. All the time, meet someone who they say game development's important to them, or a certain skill, Blender, Unreal, whatever it is, important to them. And they are sitting on links, they're sitting on video courses that they've probably even already bought and haven't done them. And I ask them, okay, when are you going to actually take that course? Tell me when you're going to take that course. And if they can't answer the question, then they're not going to take that course. Because everything you do, whether or not you schedule or plan when it might happen, is going to take up time on a calendar. And if you can't say when it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. It's an automated form of somebody that constantly asks you that question. Hey, is this happening this week? When in this week do you think this is going to happen? But the other really powerful thing about it is that in the process of blocking out that time, it makes our trade-offs much more quantifiable. It makes it much clearer to us. And it's fine to edit and modify calendar, right? You're not chiseling this into stone. That's part of why I like the smartphone app over paper. It's easier for me to shuffle things around, to reschedule stuff, and figure out, okay, well, if I decide, same thing we use our Trellos for in our Game Keto Club, long-term, 5-month projects. If I need to move some things around or add something else to my events, what am I going to push away? What trade-offs am I making? What am I displacing that was on my calendar? This also allows you then to set aside time. It doesn't have to be, tight down to the 15-minute increments, super detailed. You can overdo this stuff for sure. In the same way as all the time I run into somebody who's wasted a ton of time writing a really lengthy, detailed game design document, made no game. When they start actually building a game, figure out 99% of that stuff doesn't apply anyway because their first assumptions were wrong. So I'm not saying, plan it down to every single minute of your day. But if nothing else, if you just put some blocks in there for like Thursday night, that's when I'm committing myself to sit down in front of my computer and work on the following problem. So at least, even if I can't say when we get it done yet, it's harder to estimate things when you're new to them. Even if I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to try to get done, if I just know that those 3 hours, those 2 hours, 1 hour is going to be dedicated to working on that problem or working my way through that video course or, whatever it might be. The task you decide, redesigning your website, working on your content production for your podcast or YouTube, whatever it is, if you put it down there, you can defend and schedule time around it and be like, oh, sorry, Tuesday night's taken. Or if you need to bump it, you can bump it somewhere else and make a conscious choice of, all right, fine, I'll make it happen Monday or Wednesday. Now, people who get by in life often without their own calendar are typically, secretly, kind of serving someone else's calendar. And employers, or professors, someone beyond themselves is sort of managing their calendar for them. And there's an extent to which that's kind of okay, but it also kind of means that the time that is outside of that person's care, your employer doesn't care what you do with your off hours, at least I sure hope not, shouldn't. But what goes on in off hours, they're not scheduling that for you. And so what happens is all the time just bleeds together. And we begin to feel like we don't have time. Most people who say they don't have time, we've hit this on videos before too, have plenty of time. It's just an amorphous, unused blob of time. where part of why they're having such a hard time getting themselves to do anything with it, don't have a calendar. And I know I've beat this point now as much as I could possibly cram into a video of this length. But if you've never used a calendar before today, I really plead with you. I beg of you, because it's upsetting to me. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm frustrated at the waste of human potential that happens from people who have refused to use a calendar, whose life would be easier and better. If you could just go set one up right after this video, that'd be awesome. If you want to mention in the comments which calendar you use, is it Apple Calendar, is it Google Calendar, is it Paper Calendar, whatever it is, let me know down below. So thank you for tuning in today, following along. I'll have another video for you all tomorrow. Bye for now.